Hello, welcome to Pro Modeler. I'm Philip Flory. Bit of a special one this week because this week is actually our first birthday. Pro Modeler, as in its present guise with the forum and the other bits and pieces, has been going a whole year as of today. So a bit of a special thing on the website. We're doing for 1 week only. There's discounts for non-members. You get the same discounts as members get for all the Pro Modelers bits and pieces. So obviously it's 40% off all DVDs, so they're $5.99 instead of $9.99. Various things. It's only going to be for 1 week. So as of the 7th, that will all go back and revert back to normal. So bit of a thing. Big thank you to all the members. Everything else, we've got 550 members on the site, and we've got about 5,500 registered users. Some of the statistics off the site: in 1 year we've had over 7 million hits to the site. It's about 7.5 million hits the site's had. There's 31,000 posts in the forum, and various so on and so forth. So the statistics really are fantastic, and it's you guys that make the site work and everything else like that. So congratulations. Whilst we're saying congratulations at the moment, I'd like to congratulate Ascompt from Malta. Well, it's Alexandra. Can't pronounce your second name, so I'm not even going to attempt it. From Malta, you've won the actual prize draw, so you're going to get the set of washes, a couple of DVDs you want, obviously the t-shirt, the mug, and any other bits and pieces I can find around there. So congratulations to you for that. Also, to celebrate our sort of birthday bits and pieces like that, what I've actually done is all the tutorial videos for actually building. There's one on resin cockpits, working with resin, decaling or decaling, various bits and pieces like that. And obviously all the airbrush videos are now free to view. Anybody can see them. You can't download them, but you can certainly watch them, the same as the members do. The videos still standard, stay as their own, everything else, but obviously, as we said, you do get a discount on those. At the same time, thanks. Had a great weekend last weekend at the Perth show up in Scotland. A bit of a jaunt, about a 1,300-mile round trip for me to do that one, but it's well worth it. Thanks for everyone saying hi, congratulations, they love the site, all the bits and pieces like that. It was great to meet you all, and I'll definitely be up next year. It's a great show. If you haven't been before, it's the Scottish Nationals in Perth. It'll be this time next year. Great show, fantastic work. I wish I got more photos of it. There's a few photos for members can see on the forum I've put up there, all about the show and the details and that. But congratulations to everybody who went and everybody who took part, because it really was a fantastic show, so thank you. Okay, so as we're talking about the actual builds themselves, the various bits and pieces, the new one will be out on the site any minute now, which is for the Eduard 148 FW190A5 that I did. Basically, it is if I remember, it's a 6-part build, and we go through and I do a little bit of scratch building to open up the engine door so you can see them a little bit better. But that won't be available. It's number 13 in the series, and we're the last one of the sort of standard builds, because as you might have heard, we're actually moving on to the super builds now and things like that. The Pro Modeler sanding sticks are available as well. They're micro mesh ones, so they're sort of, the best you're going to find. Very, very nice and everything else like that. £5 for members, £6 for non-members. You can buy that free postage worldwide with any Pro Modelers product whatsoever. So it doesn't matter, it's the wash, the DVDs, the sanding sticks, or any other bits and pieces we do. It's free postage anywhere in the world, which is quite handy. Whilst we're talking about various bits and pieces, I was having a conversation with a couple of people at the show about safety and various bits and pieces like that. One thing you get when you're spraying everywhere is obviously you get you get yourself an extractor, various bits and pieces like that. Another little handy tool is to have one of these, and this is basically for spraying all your waste fluid and bits and pieces. Goes into here. It's got a filter here which gets rid of all the nasties, or most of them, and all your dirty water. I don't know if you can see there, but your dirty thinners and your old paint is all down the bottom here. £15 to get you one of these. It comes with spare little filters, everything else that go in here, these little sponge ones that fit in the top, so you pop them in like that, pop the top on, you can spray away, and probably about 90% of it all gets trapped in here. You do get a bit of fumes up there, so you're still going to need a door open or a window open, something like that. Your spray booth weren't running, but it really does cut down with your mess and your smells and various bits and pieces in there. So if you want to invest in a couple of things, one of these is a good idea. Say £15, glass on the bottom, plastic on the top. You get loads of little filters, available most places. This particular one is courtesy of littlecars.com. £15, bit of a bargain. So if it shows you can do something like that. The other thing as well, I've been talking to various people about it. When you don't see me on the videos, I do actually have a respirator on. I've got one of these. This is a single cartridge one, standard sort of, fit over your head and over your mouth job, just on like that. and then when you're spraying, especially if you're spraying horrible things like Alclads and that, okay, it's not going to stop everything, but it'll stop a lot of it, and it'll stop, you know, obviously nasties and everything else like that. Failing that, if swine fever does get over here, I don't know how better it is, but I bet it's better than a paper one. So anyway, I think I've got swine fever. I'm breaking out in rashes. Okay, whilst we're on about various new products and various bits and pieces, the other thing here, MDC in the UK, MDC.com, it's the on now, have sent us their full range of their new Mr. Metal colours. Now these are lacquer based, so obviously they're a bit smelly. They're not acrylic, so you can't clean them up with water and the other bits and pieces. But basically you've got all the metal range here, which make a fantastic alternative to Alclads. Now the great thing with these is they're buffable, and they can be put on by a brush, or they can actually go on by painting them on with an airbrush, or I say with a brush. And then what you basically do have here, you have them like this. This is a few little colours off of these. You brush them on, and then you can buff them up to a nice little sheen. And as I say, I've done these down here, and I must admit, when they first go on, when you do it, if I just show you here, they're extremely flat. They go on, and they're like basically a powder, extremely rough as well. But basically, you just give them a bit of a rub, and you polish them up, and all of a sudden they go nice and smooth. And I've done them down here to like a mirror finish. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, I've over polished this bit a bit, honestly, but there we go. But you've got these nice zinc greens, you've got the brasses here, and you've got your coppers, and then you've got two tones of burnt iron. But I tell you what, they really polish up to a mirror finish, and they're a lot tougher than when you're using Alclads. So if you want an alternative to Alclads, I would seriously consider having a go at these. As I say, very nice, very tough. They go on very easy, and they're pretty thinned, although you can put some thinners in there, and you know, it seems to thin and thin and thin, and you can carry on with it. But they give an absolute polish, you know, finger smooth finish to it. You can't feel it at all. But when it goes on, you think, hold on, what's going on here? Because you put them on, and they go completely flat and dusty like these top ones. But then once you've had a, you know, really you should have a smooth cloth. But with this, I use a rough one. But once you give them a bit of a rub round, they actually come up very nice. And you just give them a bit of a buff like this. Bottom ones I did with a nice smooth cloth, but there we go, you can just buff them up like that, and they go extremely smooth. And as you can see there, you know, they've got the bottoms obviously polished up with this nice soft cloth tops on, but you do get a mirror finish. And these ones on this side is obviously where I've hand painted it and buffed it up as well. So you can use it both ways. Always better probably to use it as in an airbrush, but certainly you could get away with using it with a hand brush as well. So if you want an alternative for a great metal finish from perhaps Alclads, then this is the way to go. Definitely not as smelly, although obviously the cleanup, because it's lacquer based, you are going to get the same smell as well. But certainly metal finish, it's a nice alternative, and I'll be giving these a whirl properly coming up very soon in the build, I'm sure. Also, the Chinook Super build is moving along. Hopefully we'll get part 2 up, will be up today. As I say, we've been cutting this one open. I've also taken out the actual, for the rear step up to the engine as well, so we're going to have that deployed. Plenty of scratch building. I've got these little parts down here, which will hopefully fit in here, which is for the actual, he says if we poke the wire through might help, which is for the battery compartment, which is going to fit in here, which hold on, we can just sort of fit it up. We can roughly sort of see this will go in there just like that, and obviously we'll have a bit of wiring all floating around, so you can see the battery in there and the little terminal and everything else, but we're all getting there. Also we've got these for the refueling areas that are going in as well. So at the moment I'm sort of working through all the scratch building of it. If forum members, I'm going to put it all up this afternoon. All the bit of work I've been doing is going to go up, and then it'll marry up with part 2 is what you can see, and then you can all throw in your input as always onto there. But certainly the scratch building is moving ahead, and I've done a little bit extra bits and pieces with it. Also been working on the cockpit with the hoses and the hydraulic lines and all the bits and pieces like that, so that's all very nice. Okay, so that's it for this sort of birthday special, I suppose, of Pro Modeler. Thanks to all the members, because as I said, I know I go on about it, but you guys really do make it. We're a fantastic site. It can only get better. It's going to get bigger, better. There's new things coming along. Keep an eye out on the loyalty scheme, because we've got new members coming in that will give you some great discounts and all the rest of it. So obviously I'll do an official welcome for them next week, but we're going to get all those in place so we can sort of push on and move forward with everything else like that. Remember, just email me, keep your order ideas coming and all the rest of it. If you don't get an email straight back, email me again and give me a kick up the arse, because I tend to forget things and everything else like that. Thanks to everyone, and I'll see you next week.